Good afternoon, everyone. It's Phil Grant with Baird and Warner in Crystal Lake, welcoming you to another edition of the Real Estate Minute. This is, of course, where we talk about all things real estate, be it buying, selling, leasing, be it residential, be it commercial, whatever the case may be, really in the hopes of helping you to make a better, more informed decision when real estate matters come up in your world. We hope this sunny March day finds you and your loved ones safe and healthy and well. If you were with us last Thursday, we talked about a couple of things. We talked about when you have a real estate issue, buy, sell, lease, again, whatever the case might be, it can sometimes be a problem. And what do you need? You need a problem solver. And that's really one of the things that I take great pride in, is being able to help my clients solve their real estate problems. So again, you got a real estate issue that you're addressing, buying, selling, leasing. Think of the old real estate problem solver here. We can jump in and help you get things done. We also talked a little bit about the state of the market right now, which the residential market is really crazy. It can indeed be a problem to buy a home. As funny as that sounds and as silly as that sounds, that's the case. Why? Of course, with interest rates where they are, they've ticked up a little bit now into the threes, which is still way crazy cheap as far as mortgage interest rates go. That's really driving this market, plus the fact that there is not a great deal of supply out there. So we talked a little bit about that and the challenges that we faced there. Then what we talked about was the initial steps as far as buying a home, especially for first-time buyers. We talked about things like doing your homework, what you had to do in the early on phases. We talked about finding a great agent, which would obviously be the old problem solver right here. We talked about choosing a lender and how important, how critical and crucial it is to have a good, solid, firm pre-approval letter before you start out on your search. And then we talked about picking a loan. Is it going to be conventional? Is it going to be FHA? Is it going to be a VA loan? Again, keep in mind that, as we've said many times before, you do not need, in most cases, 20% down to buy a home. Certainly with FHA, 3%, 3.5% down is quite common there. So keep that in mind as we go forward. So we kind of left off there at picking your loan. So where we're going to start today is we are going to start the shopping process. And of course, today everything is online on the internet. What's the easiest way for you to do this is to have the old problem solver set up an automated search for you so that when new listings hit the market, price changes hit the market, stuff goes under contract, you're going to get it right into your inbox so you don't have to sit and waste your time doing the search. Let me set that up for you automatically. Now, once that's set up, then what the next step is obviously that we pick a few homes and we decide to find a good time for all of us, and we're going to go out and look at these homes. And again, what's happening is, as we talked before, the market's crazy. So once we see something that we like, we need to be ready to act rather quickly on it. So this is important. So this is really the next step in the phase, is to go out and find you a property that you love well enough to own. I'll always ask my clients, do you like it? Do you love it well enough to own it? Because that's so critical, because it's such a huge expenditure, obviously. So once we find that property that you like well enough to own, what's the next step? Then it's time to put an offer in. And again, I will caution everybody out there right now, it is not uncommon to have to write a number of offers before you get one put together. Because again, we're getting multiple offers on properties these days. So again, don't be discouraged if you don't get that first one that you're looking for. But I will guide you through the offer writing process between myself and our mortgage people. We will guide you through that process, okay? What happens after the offer is put in? Now it's time to negotiate the deal back and forth. Are we where we need to be price-wise? Do we have a meeting of the minds there? Are we where we need to be as far as closing dates? Is everybody satisfied with that? There are a number of things that I will need to negotiate for you with your instructions, of course. And that is, again, one of the reasons I think you might want to turn to the old problem solver, because I've been negotiating business deals for over 40 years. There aren't too many deals that I haven't seen. But again, so negotiation, as you can see on the whiteboard behind me, is the next step. So what we want to do then is come to a final meeting of the minds on all of the terms of the contract so that each side is happy and we indeed get an executed contract, okay? Once that's done, a couple of other things will happen. We will then have 5 business days to have a professional home inspector come in, look at the property, give you the report, and that becomes then part of what's known as the attorney inspection approval time frame. And there again, we've got 5 days for that to have your attorney approve the deal and to work through any inspection issues that we might come up with. And again, I will guide you through all that, and your attorney, of course, will look at the contract, and he or she will make sure that everything is the way it needs to be there. So again, the inspection, very, very important piece of the puzzle there. The next step then is the appraisal on the home. A professional appraiser will come in and appraise the home. Now, most attorneys today are putting provisions in their attorney letters that say that the home must appraise out in order for the deal to go through. Now, if it doesn't appraise out, there's a couple of other ways it can be that can be dealt with. But the appraisal by a professional appraiser is the next step. Once all of that is agreed to, once we get the appraisal, and let's assume that that property appraises out for where we need it to be, what's the final step in the process? Simply closing the deal. And that is, generally speaking, a very happy day for all those involved. So again, crazy market out there. Things are flying off the shelf very, very fast. So if you're a first-time buyer, be prepared to move soon when you find that home that you love well enough to own, because again, the market is very, very fast. Any issues out there, any problems I can help you solve, pick up the phone, call me at 815-788-2198. The old problem solver will go to work for you. Stay well. Thanks very much for watching, and we will talk soon. Take care.